Displacement or subordination of giant corporations must be the agenda of the future. Every time organic farming in small plots expands around markets, agribusiness giants get weaker. Every time we have energy conservation and renewable decentralized solar and geothermal, Exxon, Peabody Coal, and the uranium nuclear corporations get weaker. Their sales decline. Every time we have community health that deals with prevention, good diet, no addictions, exercise, and community health facilities run by the consumers with skilled practitioners, the giant health insurance companies, HMOs, and drug companies decline in influence. And you can add to those examples. So it's either displacement of the operations of these corporations by community self-reliance, or it is subordination structurally so that never again they can achieve the power they have achieved because they have the same constitutional rights we have to engage in elections, politics, and other public activities that should only be restricted to human beings. They're corporations who have jeopardized or destroyed the lives of workers because of occupational disease and trauma. 58,000 a year, according to OSHA, worker deaths every 3 weeks. More than 9/11. And it happens every 3 weeks. 3 weeks after 3 weeks. 65,000 deaths, horrible. Asphyxiation, cancer from air pollution every year. EPA, heavily from the coal burning plants. 100,000 people dying because of medical negligence in hospitals, at least, according to the Harvard School of Public Health physicians. These corporations are not just lying, cheating, and stealing, as one prosecutor pointed out. They are affecting seriously the health and safety of the American people. You saw it in recent debates. There was some reference to the deficit. And they said, well, how are you going to deal with the deficit? They're getting bigger and bigger. Now we got another $700 billion one coming up. And you know something? Neither McCain and Obama ever mentioned the two biggest sources of the deficit. One is the bloated, wasteful military budget. The military budget is 1/2 of the federal government's operating expenditures, no more Soviet Union. What are we dealing with? The criminal gang that we have to have Triton submarines and aircraft carriers? That would really go for it. Corporate subsidies, bloated military budget, taboo for McCain and Obama. Both of them want to increase the military budget. They've said it again and again. It is a taboo. It is not discussable in two-party politics in our country. And have they ever met a corporate subsidy they don't like? Corporate welfare has reached unprecedented heights, not just direct handouts, giveaways, but all the ways they maneuver the tax system to indirectly send rich companies like Cisco and Microsoft and Intel what are called tax credits. They hardly need it, but they get checks from the Treasury nevertheless. If you had a broader framework of debate with other third-party independent candidates, there's only 4 more who qualify theoretically for an electoral college win, you would have seen even more clearly how insipid, cowardly, belligerent those exchanges were by Obama and McCain. It was Eugene Debs, and I heard that Matt mentioned Eugene Debs, the great labor leader of the late 19th and early 20th century. It was said, at the end of his career, he was asked by a reporter, Mr. Debs, what's your greatest regret? He said, my greatest regret? Here's my greatest regret, is that under the Constitution, the American people can have almost anything they want, but it just seems like they don't want much of anything at all. That shows how low our expectation level is compared to Western Europe. Out of the rubble of World War II, when we emerged as the most powerful government and country in the world, out of the rubble of World War II, the destitution, the poverty, and the hunger, the starvation, the 50% unemployment in Western Europe. The people of Western Europe, through their trade unions, their cooperatives, through their multi-party system, their proportional representation, giving smaller coalitions a voice, their instant runoff voting, they demanded and received by law for all their people in their country universal health care, decent wages, decent pensions, 4-week paid vacation, decent public transit, paid maternity leave, decent daycare, paid family sick leave, and university-free tuition. 63 years later, we don't have this in our country. We don't have any of this by law for all the people in our country. And we're supposed to be the richest country in the world. The Republicans and Democrats for 63 years didn't deliver the basic social benefits of a productive economy. They didn't deliver in the 40s and the 50s and the 60s. Republicans and Democrats didn't deliver in the 80s and 70s and 90s and in this decade. How many more years? How many more decades? How many more Americans die? How many more Americans have to get sick? How many more Americans have to live lives of anxiety, job insecurity, years accumulated time away from their family, job and a half, commuting in congested traffic? How many more years are you going to wait? That's what you should ask your friends and your neighbors. I, for one, don't want to wait any more at all.